This video focuses on the Publish panel within Page Generator Pro's content groups, and these settings determine the type of post that we generate as well as its status and the publication date. We can see here under the post type, this will determine the post type we generate. So in this example we have the WordPress pages and posts option, but we also have in this example a recipe option, and this is generated by a third-party plugin, in this case ACF Pro, where we've defined a custom post type called recipes. You're free to use any plugin or programmatic solution to register any custom post types, and if you do so you'll see them presented here under the post type option. We'll go ahead and demonstrate how this works by scrolling down and clicking generate via browser, and after a few seconds we can see that we have a number of pages generated, and we can click on one. We can see we have the edit page option here. If we exit to our pages screen, we can see that they were generated as pages. If we delete those generated pages and then instead we would like to produce some posts, we can select the post option, click save, scroll down and then click generate via browser. And once again, if we then this time go to the post screen, we can see that instead of being generated as pages, they are generated as posts. Finally, we support custom post types. So in this case, we'll select our recipe post type registered in advanced custom fields. We'll click save. We can delete our existing content and once again generate via the browser. And we'll see this time our recipe has been generated. And if we click on recipes in WordPress, we can see that they're generated as recipes. Moving to the status option, the default settings when generating content is to mark that content as published with a publication date of the date and time that the generation takes place. For most use cases this is fine. However, we do have options to define drafts. This is useful if you want to generate multiple pages that are not yet available to website visitors. Perhaps you want to test several pages instead of using the test functionality, which will generate one page in draft mode. Other options include the WordPress standard options for pending review and private posts or pages or custom post types. But the setting that you may most likely use will be scheduled, and this allows us to generate all of our pages, but we can tell WordPress to schedule them for publication based on the criteria we specify. When we select this option, you'll notice that some additional settings appeared down here. So if we go back to publish, we can see we have it like this, and then when we select scheduled, we have the increment option. And what this does is it will increment the scheduled date and time relative to the last page or post or custom post type that was generated. So if we select one day here, what will happen if we click save, go down and generate our content, is we'll see that the generated pages don't have the permalinks that we would expect to see. And this is correct because if we go to the pages screen here, we'll now note that all of these pages are scheduled for publication, and on the right hand side we can see that the scheduled dates, the first one will be in 1 day's time, the second in 2 days time, the third in 3 days time, etc. You'll notice that with the scheduled option we are still generating all of our pages. However, we're setting the publication date based on the criteria we've specified. WordPress will then take these scheduled posts and transition them to published based on the scheduled date and time you see in the right hand column here. If we edit one of these pages and change its status manually to published and click the publish button here, we can then view the page, and you'll observe that the permalink setting in the content group has been honoured. So the permalinks are honoured, but you will only see them at the time that a scheduled page is transitioned to published. For the date option below, we have the default of now. We can also specify a date, so this would be the start date for our scheduled posts. For example, if I want to begin on the 1st of March, I can enter that date or use the date picker option here. I can then click save, scroll down, click generate via browser, and once our pages are generated, if we go to the pages screen, you'll notice that the first page is scheduled for the day after the 1st of March, the second 2 days after, the third 3 days after, etc. We have the option to specify the date or the starting date from a keyword, and we have a list of specific formats. This is quite a specific use case that most customers won't need, but if you do want to have your post or page publication dates stored in a keyword, you're welcome to do that, and you can reference that keyword here. To be clear, these settings also apply if you go to the status as publish. You can do the same, so you can set the date as now, a specific date that you want all of those pages to be published on, or a specific date from the keyword. Moving to the final option, we have random date, and once again this applies to both publish and scheduled statuses. You can define a start and end date, and what the software will do is it will generate those pages with those dates. So in this example, if we select the 1st of January 2004 through to the end of December, we'll save our content group, we'll scroll down, we'll click generate via browser, we see our pages are generated, and we can see here we now have a variety of dates in the past. This is useful if you want to generate content with different published dates and make it look like that content has existed for some time, even though you've generated it today. We can also select the scheduled option, and in this scenario we could select dates in the future. So if we want to start on the 1st of March 2025 through to the end of December 2025, click save, generate via browser, and once those are generated, we can see here that we have a random assortment of scheduled dates in the future. So these are not uniform, they're random. We can see we've got, for example, the 6th of May, the 30th of October, etc. This is useful if you want to generate your content now, but have WordPress publish it in the future, and you don't want a uniform schedule as we demonstrated earlier. You're quite happy to have a random schedule to drip feed this content, which may be beneficial for search engines.